What is up? Welcome back to the Be Unexpected podcast with Wyatt and Jake. Today we're excited because we're starting a new segment on Be Unexpected, and this is called The Unexpected in Sports. This is where Jake and I will kind of have our little sports talk show. We'll talk about mostly Nebraska sports, but also sports around us happening as well, from college football, NFL, and probably basketball when it gets there. But today we're going to talk about Nebraska football and the Minnesota game and coming up the Colorado game on Saturday. So Nebraska lost 13-10, which was always, really disappointing and very frustrating. So yeah, Jake, I don't know. I have
Yeah.
really no words for it. It's just like same old, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how we've came since last week. So Nebraska loses and everyone's like, this is in the world, everyone's frustrated with Jeff Sims, as I am myself. And then you go and see Saturday's game, Colorado playing TCU, and then like all the hype and talk around Colorado and how it's completely changed. Like the season's over, the loss against Nebraska, and then it's like, okay, here's this opportunity with Colorado. So how things have flipped and things are looking now. It's just quite the whirlwind. But yeah, I mean, with the Minnesota game, I feel like no one knows what to say. It's just like here we are again, but it's different with this coaching staff. And I mean, there's great things too, but it's just like, wow,
It
what just happened?
it didn't feel like we were a different team from
Mhm.
Frost. It felt like we were the same team. Like we would do good things and then we would do something terrible. And yeah, but
Yeah.
what's
And
crazy is like it felt like our defense was out there forever, but our defense actually was like really good. Like we held Minnesota, I looked it up, to like 2.2 yards a carry in rushing. Like we shut down their running game.
yeah, and I think that's and one other thing, during the game, I never felt this way with Frost, but I thought we were gonna win. Like at the end of the day, I thought we were gonna win. And with that stat you said about the rushing yards is, I think it makes me a little more confident going into the Colorado game because I think our defense can withstand them. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, I really thought we were gonna win the game, which I never ever really thought that with Frost. It's like, oh well, we're probably gonna blow it somehow.
Yeah, I listened to the Nick Bob podcast and I heard this stat when we had the ball before the big fumble, we had a 94% chance to win that game. 94, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Nebraska became famous for that stat. Like on ESPN, they would say at this point over the last 5 years of Frost, like at this point, Nebraska had a 97.8% chance, or no, Nebraska had a 92.4% chance to win at this point.
Yeah. And then Sims, he went 11 for 19, 114 yards, one touchdown. Let's talk about the touchdown. Even the touchdown nearly didn't go the way it was supposed to,
Yeah.
but it worked. I mean, he we threw the lateral pass, and then he dropped it, and you're like, oh crap, it's gonna get nailed. And we must have really fooled him because there was nobody around him when he threw it.
Right.
Like,
And I don't know for sure. I thought they were just gonna call it dead because when he threw it, was it Anthony Grant or I thought he threw it forward, so I thought it was just dead. And he throws
yeah,
it to Alex Bullock in the end zone. So I don't know. I was just like, just go kick the field goal so we can just get this going. I don't think this was supposed to happen, but
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, so even the play that we scored on was the best play. Kind of didn't go the way it was supposed to, but the big thing was he had three interceptions,
mhm.
and I don't know. I guess like coming in, they said he kind of threw a lot of interceptions at Georgia Tech, so we kind of knew that. But
Yeah.
but being under rule, maybe it's different. Uh, what do you think about his turnovers?
Yeah, it's when you watch him, so the his one touchdown was that pass, and then you see the other two where he hits, in that corner of the end zone where you want them. If you're gonna miss, right, you miss far above him, and he just kind of tossed it up there.
Yeah.
And then the other one, what was it? Billy Kemp. I mean, he missed
Yeah.
it. Smaller guy. So it's just like take at least one of those away, and I think Nebraska has a better chance at winning. But it's just
Yeah.
obviously frustrating as we keep talking about like being a dead horse. We've gone through this before, but I do think Rule is really good at fixing things, and this first and second week should be exciting to see what happens next week.
Yeah, for sure. Like back to the interception, the one he threw like before the half, it was like I don't know if he didn't see him. I mean, he looked like obviously from our
Yeah,
view, just watching it, like okay, that guy's double covered. Look at the check down. But tight end is
yeah,
open. Like he was wide open in the end zone.
yeah.
But
Every time that someone throws a pick that's like that, I always think in my mind that like them running back to the coach and saying, "Coach, I'm seeing ghosts out there. I don't know what I just did."
yeah.
And so it's kind of funny when that stuff happens.
Yeah, and then like there was a play where it was Irvin Jr. He like ran all the way. He like got us to the goal line and we tried to hurry up. And then didn't we get like we would have scored because Sims tried to sneak in there, but we got a flag.
Mhm.
And it was like people were saying, like, oh, should we have called a timeout or not? I mean, I don't think we should have because like if we wouldn't have got the flag, it would have worked. We would have hurried up, you would have snuck in and scored. And it was just like obviously little things like that. But what's crazy is like we had penalties, but we've had games way worse where we would get way more penalties with Frost. And it was like these penalties are
Yeah,
why we lost. But I don't feel
yeah.
like in that situation, like getting that penalty, like we still could have scored. But
It
uh
just shows how good of the program, like it or not, PJ Fleck has developed at Minnesota. Just the sustained success they've had over the 7 years. And I'm curious, are you a PJ Fleck guy? Like, are you a row the boat guy? Do you like that?
I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I don't like hate it. It's kind of annoying
yeah,
sometimes, but I mean he's pretty like upbeat
yeah.
and positive coach. I know some people that hate it. They
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. I mean, we can knock it all we want as Nebraska fans and like, oh, it's annoying. It's all this cliche sayings.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, the dude has won and we have not. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter now if we like him or not. He wins. So
Because
like when Nebraska fans would love to be in that situation, like going 9-3, 8-4,
yeah.
constant, competing in the West. And then if we're gonna knock Fleck for that, it's like, well, here we are. So hopefully Rule can flip things around.
Yeah. And then like I don't know. I mean, Minnesota defensive backs were better than I thought. I guess like we did give him some opportunities, but yeah, we had way tougher time. I think just like trying to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Running, I thought we did good. Like, I mean, we had Sims. Sims had like 19 carries for 91 yards, and then um Grant had 9 carries, but he only had like average like I think 9 yards carry 9 yards for a couple carries. He really didn't go anywhere. His best run actually was the fumble, which if he
Yeah.
didn't fumble, like that would have helped.
Yeah.
But what do
So
you
what's your thought on like going into Colorado with what they did and how that Nebraska can do against their offense and our defense and all that? So what's your thought after seeing Colorado and seeing Nebraska, how it will go on
well, I think
Saturday?
we need to decide who is gonna get most carries and running back.
Yeah.
Because like it was like Grant or it's Irwin, right? Irwin
Gabe
Jr.
Irvin.
Gabe Irwin. Yeah. I
Irvin,
couldn't
yeah.
remember his first name.
Irwin, yeah.
Yeah. So Gabe, I think we should let him be the starting back
Yeah.
and give him the ball like 10, 15, 20 times.
Hmm.
We're doing good in the run. And the thing is like Colorado's defensive line, the rumor is anyway, is they're not really that good. Like we have a better defensive line than Colorado, which I mean you can tell by the last game they gave up like 42 points. So like the defense did. So
Hmm.
and we only gave up, I mean we lost, but we gave up 13.
Hmm.
So I think we need to just establish who's our starting running back and just give him the ball
Yeah.
and have him and Sims just run it and I hope they don't run Sims too much because I thought the whole point was not to
Yeah.
run him, and he ran
Oh,
19 times.
that might
So
be the only way we win, though. It's the
that's
thing. So,
true. Because
yeah,
then we're weak at wide receiver, but then also we had turnovers. So it's like, do we really see what the wide receivers could do in the first
yeah,
game? Not really, no.
yeah,
So I think if we kind of pound the ball and run it down Colorado's throats, we could beat them. I mean, we
yeah,
have a fullback. We're back to
yeah,
the fullback, which everyone thinks is so cool. So then
yeah.
use the fullback and put him in there to block the game.
Well said. Yeah. Yeah,
um,
it's how cool would that be to if Nebraska is able to knock off like the coach prime, like and all this hype that they're getting, to be able to go into Boulder and beat them. Because
yeah,
I mean, they're the talk of college football right now. So let's say Nebraska goes in and just whoops on them into Boulder with all the, with the ticket prices being huge. Their AD coming out last year and saying no red in stadium and to go in there and beat them. I think that would be hilarious because there's just so much hype with Coach Prime. Like I'm not gonna say he's not. I mean, this is what college football needs and all this, and he'll be a great recruiter. I think he's gonna do great, but that would just be really cool. It's just to honestly shut them up.
yeah. I mean, like you would talk about something unexpected. No one thought Colorado
Yeah.
would play that good because I mean, over half their team was the portal, like
Hmm.
just transfers, and then I think we were favored on Saturday morning, and then by the time that Colorado game ended, we were not favored.
Yeah, I
And
think as of right now on Thursday morning, I think they're a 3-point favorite. And but weren't we like 7.5
I think so,
before
yeah.
the game? Yeah. So and it's crazy how everyone just thought they're gonna be bad with all their turnover and so much turnover, with the transfer portal. But they were so insane with it, and everyone just thought they were gonna be not
Yeah.
good, which I don't know. I don't know why people thought that so much. I was more like a wait and kind of see, but
I mean, I'm not
no.
surprised Colorado, maybe probably a little bit. Like they were that good against like TCU, who was runner up in the national championship. But
Yeah.
I
And who
mean,
knows? Maybe TCU is really overrated too. I
yeah,
don't know.
maybe TCU
Maybe
just
it's
like lost all their good players and they're become like 6-6 or 5-7,
yeah,
which honestly would not help Colorado, depending
yeah.
on how their season goes.
Well, they had so many people drafted too. I think it was
Yeah.
a crazy amount.
But
So,
then like the shocking part to me was like, you know, Sanders, his son, he threw for like 510
mhm.
yards. And I'm like, and we at times in the game, it seemed like as the game would go on, we were better at putting pressure on the quarterback. We got to do that from the jump, man. We can't
Mhm.
just wait for our defensive lineman to come out and put pressure on Sanders. We got to, and he's probably a way more athletic quarterback than the Minnesota quarterback,
Mhm.
um, but Sanders, I mean, he's legit, dude. Like
Mhm.
the father and the son. Like
Yeah.
if they go on to have a winning season and is ranked, it'll be to the talk of like college football.
And it's crazy. I'm sure. You probably talk about this with the NIL stuff. I'm sure. He's making. I thought it was. I saw a tweet or something that his earnings right now are higher than like like Burrow and like all these contracts that are still on the rookie contract and in the NFL. How much money he's gonna make from just last week, and
Yeah.
so it's just crazy how things are turning around. So
Do you think Nebraska like Sanders is an elite player, like quarterback? Do you think Nebraska we have an elite player or just a bunch of really good players?
yeah, I guess we'll find out. But I think we have a lot of good players. I'd love to say like our running backs. I think we have a good running back room. I think wide receiver room is good, but we don't really know. So, and I'd love to say Jeff Sims is elite. I'd love to say our linebacking core is elite, which I think is pretty good with Henrich and Reimer, and then our secondary is pretty good with Newsome and Hartzog. So I
Hmm.
think we have a lot of great, um, different position groups. But you'd love to see someone emerge, some group emerge to be like the leaders of the team. And I do think that's like Luke Reimer and those guys on defense right now, but you'd love to see that on offense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Luke Reimer had 5 tackles. He dropped. He had the interception he could have gotten the end
Oh
zone.
yeah.
That
Oh
was like one
man.
moment too. It was like,
Uh
oh, right
yeah.
there, man. And I mean, he'll bounce back and probably get a couple of interceptions on the season. And it's hard because it's like you want to go 1-0. Just be undefeated for one week. And
Mm-hmm.
we haven't done that in a while. But I mean, I have no doubt that he'll show up. Omar, he was our leader in tackles. He had 7. And I think that our defense actually, like, I mean, it's our kind of our bread and butter. We need, if our defense isn't playing good, just based off the first game, then we're probably out of the game. But like our defense is definitely our strong side, which it felt like we were out on defense forever. Like, especially in the first half, like Minnesota was just like driving it down the field, and we were supposed to have a slower offense, and it didn't seem like we were out there for that long because one, we either turned the ball over or went 4 and out. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
what do you think? Do you
Oh,
think the defense was out there for quite a while, especially in the first half? And that's
yeah,
why,
it felt like it. And so it felt like we that's why it would be cool to get like a special teams touchdown or a defensive
yeah,
special. And then we did get the interception second half, but
yeah. And then, like, we, I mean, it's just the same old, like right there, interception on offense, dropped interception on defense, like just the little things, man. But I heard in the press conference this week that Rule was like, I'm gonna focus on our biggest problem and then fix all the little problems later. He never said what our big problem was, but I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Like, you can't just fix everything in one week or even one season, especially the way like our program's been going. So maybe as long as he fixes the big problem, which whatever that is, um, we'll have a good season, or definitely we'll have a good career at Nebraska.
it's
So
always I love listening to his press conferences because the way he responds to reporters and responds and answers questions is like, damn, that was good. That was
yeah,
really well worded. And so he's very smart man.
yeah.
So it's really fun to listen to him. I'm a huge. I've been drinking the Roulade,
I
as you would
think
say.
I mean we're Nebraska fans. We
Right.
drink
I'm gonna drink whoever's the coach. I'm
whoever
basically
is the
chugging
coach.
that Kool-Aid all day, man.
We're behind him,
Yeah.
but I mean, like there was some like Riley was kind of like I don't know. I would say Riley maybe before Frost because it
It's like,
was like
who are you?
nobody who knew who he
I
was.
remember Googling his name after when he got the job. Who
Yeah,
is Mike Riley?
yeah, and no one knew who he was,
Yeah.
and it was just like you got to be like kidding me. Like Oregon State was never really that good. Other than that,
Yeah.
though, like we were always like, oh yeah, he's the guy, and then it's like okay, now he's not the guy 5 years later. But
Just
I'm trying to look up time of possession of how many time we had. Okay, so wow, we had the ball for 29 minutes and 18 seconds, and they had it for 30 minutes and 42 seconds, and that's kind of surprises me. It just felt like we were out there on defense forever, and then we could not get anything going on offense the whole
mhm.
game. But I guess we did play better in the second half, though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then look at this. We we outgained them in total yards, which we always do, and lose the game still 295 to 251. And then passing, we had 114, they had 196. That's what kind of killed us, I think. And then rushing, we had 181 yards, and they had 55.
Yeah.
So it's like when you look at the stats, we should have won the game,
Yeah.
but could have, should have, would have. We didn't on the clock.
We've been saying that for many years.
Oh my gosh, it's like,
We
and then it's like you can't help but say, because like, what else is there to say, really?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
And that's, when people ask you like, oh, what do you think Nebraska could have like done better or what this or that or what went wrong or and then you just kind of like throw your hands up. It's like, dude, I don't know, man. We've been saying that for years. So what I guess I don't know. Hopefully
Ooh,
Hopefully it's different in Colorado because I
uh,
would rather not looking at it now, it'd be much more cooler
yeah,
to be Colorado than Minnesota.
yeah. I
But
mean,
I know even though it's a Big Ten,
yeah. But
but
honestly, the Big 12 games, like Colorado, Oklahoma, they're just always gonna mean
yeah.
they
Yeah,
just mean more.
do you remember growing up, do you have any memories like of your favorite Big 12, like Nebraska versus Big 12, like any when Nebraska played Colorado or like that Big 12 championship against Texas or
Right? It
even
was like,
earlier?
was it the 08 game? 08 or 09? Like we had to make like a 50 some yard field goal to beat Colorado.
Yeah, Alex Henry,
And
right?
yeah, yeah. And we made it and we won the
Yeah.
game. And I think in that game we tried like a fake field goal or
But
something and
he
like
threw it
throw it
behind his
behind.
head.
And then
Yeah.
we messed it up. And it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So that's the Colorado game I always remember.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I just remember like beating Oklahoma 10-3 one time. Like the game was kind of boring, but it was like, well, we beat Oklahoma, which I think we hadn't done in a couple of years. And
Yeah.
then the Texas game is like that Big 12 championship, which I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it
Yeah.
because we're not talking about that.
Hey, we'll talk about that was the game
Yeah.
that Sue was it he threw Colt McCoy down. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
And
we'll leave it
then,
at that.
and then
We
that,
all know how it ended. So
and then that Colorado game, that's kind of like when I first heard about Sue because he made like a huge play at the end of the game. I think
yeah.
either like intercepted a ball or recovered a fumble or something.
Yeah, and
And
then
that set up the
faced
field goal.
like
Like,
threw down he stiff
yeah,
armed the guy. Yeah.
yeah, that's when I first kind of knew of him. Because then the
Yeah.
next year is the year when he had like that Heisman season.
Yeah.
So
He got
he,
invited to the Heisman ceremony, right?
yeah, he got like second, which he
Yeah.
should have won.
Who won? Mark Ingram? Was that
Yeah,
the year or was that?
yeah, that was Mark Ingram. Because and then like, do you ever watch like the 150 years of college football documentaries,
Mhm.
like America's Greatest Game or whatever? So they did
Yeah.
one on the Heisman, and one of the reporters was like, I think Sue should have won it because we're talking about the best college football player. And he made that much of an impact on
Yeah.
defense. But it's always the
Yeah.
quarterback that gets it. So, or
Yep.
I guess that case running back, but still offense
Yeah.
always
It
wins.
always is. Yep.
But then, what really did do good was we did pretty good on special teams. So
Yeah.
that was nice. We didn't mess anything up. Um, our kicker made a field goal. Um,
Yeah. Alvano?
yeah, Bono made the
Yeah.
field goal, so that was cool.
Had him
And
on.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that was cool. Like to say, like, oh, he came on our podcast. He made
Yeah.
the field goal. So,
Yeah.
and then we had a couple of nice returns. We had that one return that was like 63 yards or something like
Yeah.
that.
With Ramir Johnson.
Yeah. Oh
I thought he
yeah.
was gonna take it to the house, baby.
Yeah. Oh, do you think Ramir Johnson will play more than Grant this week?
Well, I think they should use. I think you should use Ramir Johnson like out in the flats, like get him more in the slot and use him a little more because he's a great athlete and great player. But it's just hard. Okay, is he a better running back than Gabe Irvin and Anthony Grant?
Well,
Well, he
not
probably.
Gabe Irvin. I don't think he'll play above him, but I'm thinking like, because they used the two running backs quite a
Mhm.
bit, like,
Yeah,
which is probably good because you don't want the one just to get beat up and then get injured. But anyway, like, because Grant fumbled and he was having fumble problems in spring, do you think he won't play as much or do you think they'll still play
yeah.
him quite a bit?
Well, yeah, I could see them rolling with Irvin since
Yeah.
Grant's had the fumble issue, and then
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think I think they'll put uh Grant maybe on special teams, but maybe Rule will just give Grant one more chance. I don't know. Because he was all in spring practice, he was all about like we're not fumbling the ball. We fumble
yeah,
the ball, you're not playing. So I don't know.
yeah,
But
yeah. Did you just get one more run? You hold the ball, play, you lose it, you're done.
yeah. And then like if you're Grant, like, that's probably a really crappy feeling too.
Yeah,
But
because he's good, man. Like he's super good,
yeah,
great
like,
running back. He just can't. Sometimes he loses the ball.
yeah. But
Kind
then
of reminds me
also,
of is that the movie On Longest Yard? It was he's like he had the popcorn He's like, I
Oh,
shouldn't have had that popcorn.
oh yeah. And then like you ever seen the movie The Program?
Yeah,
And like they make the running back carry a football to
yeah,
class so he doesn't fumble.
yeah,
But yeah, man. But then too, it's like, I mean, yeah, that was like obviously a key moment at the end of the game, but we can't have four turnovers and win the game.
yeah,
Like, yeah, our stats, we outgained them and everything, but I mean, we just gotta hold on to the dang ball.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't know, you think Sims was kind of like he's probably a little nervous, but like deer in headlights at some moments because like his first Big Ten game. I mean, the Big Ten is different than the ACC in football, so I don't know. Maybe he was nervous or just didn't read the
yeah,
field that well because he had that one. Who was the one he like threw way over the wide receiver and it was like right to the defensive back. It was like
yeah.
the wide receiver was shorter, but it was
Oh,
kind of like,
Kemp.
yeah, Kemp, that's it. And I'm just like, what, like on TV, it's like, where are you throwing to? You threw like
Mm,
way over him, but I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, the cliche saying, right? You learn from your mistakes. So hopefully, this week against Colorado is a lot better.
Yeah.
So,
So, what is something unexpected that you think will happen in the game? Like, will someone have a big game that we don't expect? Some crazy play?
dang, that's a good thought. Well, my first thought is, I think whatever Jeff Sims's turnover to touchdown ratio is, I think that's a determined game. So if we're -1, I think we'll lose. So whatever that scenario is, I think we'll win or lose the game. So it's all a lot depending on how he handles the ball and decisions made. But unexpected people, unexpected players. I don't know. It sounds like Malachi Coleman might get some reps at receiver with what's his name, Castaneda being tearing his ACL. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize he tore his ACL during the game. I guess I didn't really pay attention, but
yeah.
yeah, that really hurts. And plus, like, we're pretty thin at the wide receiver spot anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
What about you? Any thoughts? Anything unexpected gonna happen? Crazy?
I, I think we're going to rush for over 200 yards.
And does that give us a win?
I'm gonna say, yeah. Or I think we're gonna rush for over 200 yards, or like always, it's going to be close, and we're gonna have to kick like a 50-yard field goal to win the game.
You know what? You know what'd be cool is of like before the game, everyone like how you kind of line up and people like you kind of go at each other, not go at each other, but you get let John at each other,
Yeah,
or at the end of the game. I just hope kind of something like a little interesting like that happens. But no one like get hurt, but that'd be kind of cool. Or if like Matt Rule and Deion Sanders get into a fist fight, that'd be cool.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to take Dion. He
Yeah.
looks pretty.
Yeah, I
No offense
wouldn't.
to Rule, but
I'd step away.
Dion is like ex-pro athlete.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but we gotta. I mean, this is not unexpected, but obviously we gotta shut down their pass game. They just went off.
Yeah.
Do you think we will hold uh Sanders to under 500 yards passing?
Oh shoot. I hope so. We should. I mean, dang, that's a lot of passing yards. To go back to back for him for that, that'd be tough to
Yeah,
do, but I think we should.
trying to look up here. They're passing. Hang on. Do you think like do you think I think we have the better line than Colorado, like defensive and offense. Their offense line was pretty good. So I'm gonna say we get 2 sacks in the game. Hopefully a lot of hurries and stuff, but I don't know if we can catch Sanders all the time. He was pretty fast.
How about this question? How many times do you think it'll get brought up in the broadcast that Nebraska's record for one score losses over the last 5 years? Over
Because
under 5.
over. They're
Over.
just gonna always say if it,
Yeah.
especially if the game's close, it's
Just
gonna be like,
brought
oh
up. They don't have to put it on the screen. Like,
yeah,
is it Gus Johnson, Joe
yeah.
Clark? Like
They're gonna
brought
say
up like,
that,
oh, it's a 2 point game, just like 2-26 over the last 5 years or something, whatever the stat is. Yeah, I'd say over.
yeah, definitely because like it's always that. I mean, we can't really say anything about it because it's like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
can't make the stats don't lie. But it's
Yeah.
like, all right, we get it. We get it, people.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't win close games right
It
now.
it made
Right
me
now.
think. I saw something, and it was this like Iowa versus Iowa State drinking game during the game. So it's how many times that the betting gets brought up, how many times Trump gets brought up as the game, how many times that gosh, there was something. Oh, Brian Ferentz is like points per game. Just all these things that the Cyhawk thing, because Trump's going to be there and all the betting stuff. And so it was kind of funny. So it made me think of how many times they're going to bring up Nebraska's one
Yeah.
score losses.
That Iowa State game is gonna be hilarious because of
Yeah.
betting. Like
There'll be so many jokes made.
if somebody misses a field goal, it's like, oh, he had money on the game,
Yeah.
so he had to miss it.
Yeah.
But I guess you got to feel bad for the players a little because not they all didn't bet, but still, it's
Yeah.
like for us, the
One.
fans that aren't really Iowa State fans,
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty funny.
To poke at it. Yeah.
All right, hang on, I'm going to look up something.
Also, did you see in Dabo's press conference, he someone compared him to like his offense getting compared to Brian Ferentz's offense at Iowa. And he
Really?
said it's like I don't know if I think it was recent. It was talked about how he I guess we're doing bad if we get compared to Brian Ferentz's Hawkeye offense or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was really talk about unexpected. Duke beats Clemson.
Smokes him.
I know it wasn't even
Just
like, oh, Duke makes a 50-yard field goal to win the game.
yeah, gave him a good
They
old whooping.
killed
Yeah.
them. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So one thing we got to do is shut down Travis Hunter. That was the thing. Do you think that was the other question I wanted to ask you? Do you think Travis Hunter will have over 100 yards receiving, or we will hold him under that?
I think he'll have over 100 yards receiving.
Yeah.
He'll probably
Unless
have
we
interception too.
unless we double team him and just like leave other wide receivers open.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we might have to do that.
Yeah.
But I
Whatever
mean,
works, right?
I know. Like so, the unexpected would be we hold them to 90, 95 yards receiving, maybe 75 at the lowest. That would be really unexpected to have that big a game. And then and the dude plays both ways though. So we have to watch
Yeah.
out for him. And
I wonder if that's realistic to keep that up all year, to keep all those reps and play that many plays,
yeah, the only
all
one,
games, the whole
yeah,
year without getting hurt.
the last guy to do it and be like college football name was like Charles Woodson back in '97. So
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I mean, he's seems like he's a great athlete to do it, but it'll be interesting to
yeah.
see if he can keep it up all year.
Oh, one more unexpected with Travis Hunter. We burn him on
Yeah.
defense, and we get him. His guy, our guy beats him, and he wide open for a touchdown.
I'd love to, but who? I mean, we could do that with Trey Palmer, but
Like I
yeah,
said, it's unexpected.
it's unexpected. Sorry, I
we
won't
don't
question.
we don't know. We don't
We
know.
leave that up to the game. Yeah.
Maybe we put Sims at wide receiver, and all of a sudden, like just for one play, and he burns them and catches.
Yeah,
I don't
or
know.
like we did last week with Harbor, the backup quarterback, was that
Oh
receiver.
yeah.
We'll put him, or I don't know, do something weird,
I mean,
do something unexpected.
I hope he stays at quarterback. But if we have injuries to wide receiver, I say we put him at wide receiver. That guy's huge.
Yeah,
Like I say, we put him at wide receiver. We need to. So
yeah. Hey, like I said earlier, whatever it don't like now. It's not we're not saving people, whatever. Just whatever you need to do to win, man.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some other games though. All right. So before we do the Nebraska score, who do you think is going to win, Texas or Alabama?
Or Alabama. What do you think?
I'm going the underdog. I'm going Texas here.
Texas? Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
I think Texas is going to win 28-24. So,
Iowa or Iowa State?
ooh, I'm gonna go Iowa. I don't want to, but I think Iowa. I think it's gonna be 14-10. Low
14 to
score.
10.
Yeah, some low boring score.
Yeah.
And
like
I think
3-2.
I think there's gonna be 3 missed field goals. And
I could see it.
will that be because of betting? Will it not be? I don't know. I guess we'll see. But and then Oh yeah, Texas Tech, Oregon. I
Mm.
like Texas Tech, but I'm probably thinking
I'm gonna
about
pick Oregon. I mean, Tech just lost
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Wyoming.
yeah. That was really bad. So I'm gonna go Oregon, like 42-21. So, and is that? I think that's kind of the big
Oh,
games. I
I
think.
think there's Ole Miss, and I haven't watched either teams. Ole Miss and Tulane, they're both ranked.
Ooh,
So I hope give me Tulane. I hope they beat Ole Miss.
I got Tulane 35 to 24.
Yeah.
And then Texas A&M and Miami.
Oh
Uh
boy, I hate both those. Um,
yeah.
I guess give me A&M though because one of Nebraska's running back, AJ Allen, transferred to Miami,
Oh
and
yeah.
but I mean, yeah, it's a full room. Anyway, I pick A&M.
Yeah, I'm gonna go A&M. I'm going 35. No, 42-14. Texas A&M.
A&M, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now
What's
my
your
number
yeah?
what
Give me you go first. Give me your
Nebraska
prediction.
game.
Yep.
I can't not pick them to not win. Like I probably should, but I think if we win, we'll win 24-21.
24,
And that's
21.
when we kick the 50-yard field goal. We'll win the game.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You know what? I've learned one thing over the years. I've been picking Nebraska forever, and I will start. I love Nebraska, and always be a diehard fan, whoever the coach is. But until they win, I'm gonna have to pick
Colorado.
Colorado 31 to 21. So, but
Yeah.
hey, I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right.
Right.
So,
I think one of us has to be just like ridiculous dreamer and pick them to win. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I mean,
We can't both be like, no, we're not gonna win.
yeah,
One of us gotta. And
yeah.
then I'm not gonna say the score, I think, but I think like uh if we could honestly, I mean, it's possible the way their offense was. If we don't, we could get killed too. But
Yeah.
I don't believe that will happen.
No.
Hopefully. So
Yeah.
but hopefully we win the game. You can't say this about Nebraska. You can't say like we get blown out that much. We
Mhm.
are always in the game, which
Yeah.
I like. Because I mean, if you're not a Nebraska fan or a fan of the other team we're playing, it is entertaining.
Mhm.
But it just
Yeah.
like it's heartbreaking for us. So
As Larry the Cable Guy would say, let's go get her done.
did you know that he predicts us to go undefeated and win a national championship like every year?
Every year.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
come on,
Hey,
man.
one of these years he's got to be right.
Yeah, he's gonna make bank on that
Yeah.
bet some
Yeah.
one of these years.
Yeah.
All right, that's our unexpected sports talk show with Wyatt and Jake. Subscribe to the podcast and listen to our episodes, and hopefully we will get a W on Saturday, and Jake and I will follow up with the game next week and also have more interviews on the Be Unexpected podcast. See ya.